All right, let's dive into a theory that might just completely change how you see reality. It's called the ΨGrid. And the core idea here is that countless parallel worlds aren't just a sci-fi fantasy. They're an invisible certainty existing all around us, right now.
You know, when we think of parallel universes, we usually picture them way out there, in some other dimension light years away. But this theory asks a much weirder, much more profound question. What if they're not out there at all? What if they're right here, occupying the exact same physical space as you are in this very moment?
I mean, think about that. It's not just about being close, it's about being literally superimposed. It means a whole other world of people could be walking through our walls, through our houses, and we'd be walking through theirs, completely oblivious to each other, like ghosts. So, how could that possibly work?
Well, to wrap our heads around this, we have to kind of rethink the most basic thing of all, what it even means to exist. According to the ΨLGrid model, existence itself is like a frequency, a specific vibration in the fabric of the universe. And the key concept, the absolute linchpin of this whole idea, is something called coherence. Just imagine that everything, and I mean everything, every atom, every person, every planet, has its own unique vibrational pattern, its own rhythm of existence. Now, this isn't just a metaphor. In this theory, it's a literal, fundamental property of reality. And honestly, the best way to think about this is like a radio. You've got dozens, maybe hundreds of radio signals passing through you right this second, but you only hear the one station your radio is tuned to. The other signals aren't gone, you're just not on their frequency. The ΨGrid is saying that entire worlds, entire universes work exactly the same way. We're just not tuned in. So what we call reality is just what happens when things are in phase, when their frequencies match up. In our world, light bounces off things, matter bumps into other matter, and we all share the same flow of time. But in an out-of-phase world, their light would pass right through us. Their matter could be in the exact same spot as yours without any interaction. And their time? It could be flowing at a totally different speed. To us, they'd be completely, utterly invisible.
Now, if you accept this idea, well, it kind of throws a wrench into the physics we all know and love. It creates a whole new rulebook. For instance, if their world and our world can't touch, what happens to something as fundamental as gravity? And this is where the theory gets really wild. It totally redefines gravity. Forget everything you learned about mass warping space-time. In this model, gravity isn't a force of attraction, it's a measure of vibrational harmony. Things only pull on each other if their rhythms of existence are in sync. Okay, now don't worry about the math here. Just focus on that last little bit of the equation. That symbol, delta nu psi, represents the difference in frequency between two objects. And here's the kicker. The bigger that difference gets, the weaker their gravitational pull on each other becomes. And it drops off exponentially. That means an out-of-phase Earth, vibrating at a totally different frequency, could literally pass right through our sun and feel pretty much nothing. Here's another cool way to picture it. Think of soap bubbles floating through the air. They can pass right through each other, occupying the same space. But if they happen to touch and their surfaces vibrate in just the right way, they can merge. In this model, entire universes are just like those bubbles, only interacting if their fundamental vibrations happen to line up. Okay, so if these other worlds are out there, just vibrating differently, just how many are we talking about? Well, the theory actually tries to give us the answer. And honestly, it's pretty staggering. So let's break this down. On a purely theoretical level, there could be an infinite number of these worlds. But, and this is a big but, most of them would be totally unstable, just flickering in and out of existence. The number of stable worlds, ones with durable physical laws, might be closer to 1,000. But then, when you narrow it down even further to worlds that are not just stable but actually habitable, well, that number plummets. That's right. Out of all those countless possibilities, the number of worlds stable enough and complex enough to actually support life could be incredibly small. We're talking maybe a few dozen, 100 at most, all coexisting in the same space as our solar system. It suggests that we are living in an exceptionally rare vibrational sweet spot. So, okay, this is a cool, mind-bending idea, but so what? Why does it matter? Well, it turns out this whole model might just offer a hauntingly elegant solution to one of science's biggest, most persistent mysteries.
You've heard it before, right? The Fermi paradox. The universe is unbelievably vast and incredibly old. By all statistical logic, it should be teeming with intelligent civilizations. So, where are they? Why is it so eerily quiet out there?
And this theory has an answer that'll give you chills. The universe isn't silent. It isn't empty. It's absolutely saturated with life, with civilizations, with broadcasts and cultures and cosmoses. The problem isn't that they're not talking. The problem is us. We are phasically deaf. We're tuned to one and only one channel in a cosmic broadcast with infinite stations. The great silence, it's just an illusion.
But if we're deaf to all these other worlds, is that it? Is there any way to bridge that gap? Well, the theory's most speculative, most out there idea is that consciousness itself might be the key. That maybe, as this incredibly complex pattern of energy, it has the unique ability to create tiny little resonances, little leaks between phases. Could those weird moments of déjà vu, of gut intuition, or those bizarrely vivid dreams, could they be fleeting glimpses into another reality, briefly vibrating in sync with our own? It's a huge leap, for sure, but it's a fascinating one.
And that leaves us with this incredible image, a cosmos that isn't empty, but one that is saturated with these parallel silences, entire worlds all around us, dancing to rhythms that we will probably never hear. It really makes you wonder, what if the next great discovery isn't about looking further out into space, but about figuring out how to tune in, how to change the channel on reality itself?